of the Black Lady Media Club. I'm Nene,
I'm D.
And I'm Yan.
and today we are doing our October book of the month, and that book is titled "The Secret World of Maggie Gray" by Granger.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into the discussion, I'm going to read the synopsis of the book here, and it goes like this. A vampire, a witch, and a siren get accepted into a magical HBCU. The rest I am not allowed to say, but just know there is a talking cat named Quan, a few murders that went cold, and a world that is just below our feet. And that's all it says. So,
Okay, it's
girls,
not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
how do we feel about The Secret World of Maggie Gray? I would like to say first, um, I don't know why they named it The Secret World of Maggie Gray because I don't think they focused on Maggie enough for her to be the namesake of the book.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
didn't. They didn't. They did not. We it became Asha's story more so.
Right.
Yeah,
I know
to
they
be honest.
tried to push Susie a little bit more, but
Mm-hmm.
Asha was the one I think who kind of took over most of the plot line at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, Asha. It was interesting to hear about her, but going back to it and just seeing and just realizing that I didn't hear enough about Maggie like I wanted to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But overall I did like it.
Um, I would say overall, I hated this book. Um, this was this was one of the worst reading experiences I've ever had in my life.
Wow. That's a very polarizing
That's strong. Strong
I
words.
did
review.
I did not like it at all.
The girls love this book.
I know they do. I
Why'd you
Yeah,
hate
I mean,
her?
I think that there were some choices that I did not that wasn't my cup of tea,
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it enough to start the second one.
Why'd you hate it,
um
yeah?
I thought none of the characters made sense. I thought the pacing of the story didn't make sense. I thought the only character that I thought that had a semblance of like likability was Susie sometimes, but everyone was silly. The I feel like there was lots of like um coercion and sexual assault fetishization in this book, and I didn't like that at all. I didn't like any not one male character in this book. I think all of them were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yeah.
there was not a page that went by
She hated it
that
for real.
that that I liked.
Dang.
That's crazy.
That's strong. I will say I agree. Like I felt like none of the main characters were redeemable, and I'm just like, if y'all were going to make them love interest,
Self interest,
why
yeah.
did you start them off so strong and hateful?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were so strong and hateful and so proud and standing in that hatefulness just to be like, you ain't never even give me a chance.
Like what?
Right.
What are you
Right.
Why would
talking
I give
about?
you
Right.
a chance if you start off calling me a B? You call me a fang mutt. You call me Scarface B.
Scarface.
Like, why on God's green earth would I be like, you know what? Maybe you know what? Maybe he not
It
that bad.
Mhm.
Like,
just
Mhm.
nothing about it made sense to me, and the premise of the book was never in my opinion just was never fleshed out enough to make that the premise of the book. We came down here to learn about her family. The family was never seen once in this book. They didn't
sure
have any
wasn't.
dialogue in this book.
Never
um
alluded to, well, they were alluded to, but like never was a shadow of them.
Yeah.
yeah. yeah, we are making the school this like big thing. We don't even know what Drew Collins is. We don't know why it's named that. We don't.
Who is Drew Collins?
Who is Drew Collins? What is this?
Because
Like, I just
if it's not called Marvin T. Holmes or whatever
like
his
then what
name
is
is,
like
who is
what's going
Drew?
on? And also, and this last thing I'll say before we get to like what you have to say, Nee, or like get to the questions. But this is also a very big problem that I have with stories about like fantasy stories that take place in that are supposed to take place in our grounded world, which is that when you do that, you have to, especially if they have like tangible connections to our world. So this is, and you call this an HBCU, um, taking the name from regular on the ground black folks, but everyone down there is bigoted towards black folks.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all are doing every single thing in step with regular old black folks.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Y'all copying everything. But you the baddest one on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you following the footsteps of everybody on the surface.
Yep. I agree.
And
Yeah.
it just doesn't like a lot of fantasy stories do that take place in like our supposed to take place in our world. They don't think about how that then relates to um just the rest of the world. You like if this was a different universe or if it was like more integrated with the surface world. It's like y'all are saying that it's one thing when it's obviously not that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that because I did think that that was weird.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
think as I was reading it, I tried to put a lot of those feelings to the
I
side
tried
because
to.
I really wanted to latch on to what the plot was going to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to figure out what was going on with the first family, what the actual truth was. That's what I wanted to know. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like, rolling my eyes, being like, "Oh, brother, let's get to it." But I think I was trying to focus more so on, okay, what's the intrigue? Like, I was latching on to what I believe the intrigue was,
Mm-hmm.
but I totally agree with you. It was very insufferable when it came to talking about that comparing themselves to the
Regular
regular black,
blacks. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and being very like prejudiced and bigoted, like you said, and basically doing the same things that we are projected to be doing on the
Mm-hmm.
like I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was like, how about we focus on what's going on down
Let's
here?
focus on the
Yeah.
future.
Because right now the pacing is not we're not moving fast enough because y'all focus on something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me the info. I don't care
For
about that.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
I don't care about the alphas and the betas.
I
Yeah.
promise you. Listen, and that's what was really getting me. So like when we
It
were
could.
when we got to the underground and they
Uh
started
huh.
talking about frats and sororities, I was like, like y'all lost the plot because I was like, come
I was
on,
like,
I'm not totally against it, I guess, but it really took me out of it because I'm just like, if it's supposed to be like this exclusive, and I'm not saying they can't do it because I mean obviously the founders were black, right? So the people that started all of this were black, so they were having black
mm-hmm.
experiences above ground before they went under there. So I understand that, but I definitely felt like it's just the I thought the whole point of y'all going underground was for community and to
Mm-hmm.
for y'all to go under and be so exclusive and so like hierarchy based and all that. It was just like
Yeah.
that's the part because I don't really care that they had sororities and fraternities necessarily. It
Yeah.
was more so how exclusive everything was and how like, oh, you're a legacy, and but there's layers to being a legacy, and you got to be this, and you, oh, she might be a
Yeah.
legacy but she can't be on legacy row and she can't have a house. Oh, well, she's the most exclusive so she got a house and she got, it's like, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all got 40-year-old women and men here in class, and you telling them that you better than them, and you're 19.
Like what is
When
going on?
we
Also,
all
did I hear
in
this correctly?
school. Like, what are we
Did I hear correctly
doing?
that they have people from 5 to 40 at the school?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, that's also something I had a huge issue with.
Like, cause what are we doing? Like, I just
What are we
feel
talking
like
about?
the exclusivity of it all. Y'all started this because y'all wanted to have a place where y'all can all be yourselves and y'all can all have community and grow each other and all this type of stuff. And then to get down there and start acting a fool, it just is like it
Hmm.
don't make any sense for y'all to be so
Um,
exclusive and so selective with who's who and who's going to associate with who. And it's just ain't nobody should be feeling exclusive except that first family, I would think.
yeah,
Right.
like,
But
cause what?
it's they also made a big deal about being accepted into Drew Collins in the first
Yeah.
Right.
place, already going into it having this sense of self-importance.
Right. Okay, so clearly we're a little polar on this book. I didn't dislike the book as a whole, but I will say that the characters almost nobody was likable. I agree with that. So it was just kind of like or I was very confused by how some of the characters were written. So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
didn't dislike the book, and I thought it was interesting. I thought the concept was interesting. I thought
Hmm.
the story, everybody's story was interesting, and I do think the stories got better towards the end. But I just feel like I don't know. I feel like maybe the author. I don't know. Maybe she was. I don't know. Maybe she was a little lost at first, and she didn't know how to place it because it's just like, or
Hmm.
I don't know if this is a woman or a man or who wrote the book, but well, Granger. I'm just gonna refer to him as Granger. I don't know what Granger was trying to do, but I feel like there was too many point of views. I felt like there were like it got confusing a little bit, and just too many people had speaking parts. Like, there's no reason why I need to hear Clementine's point of view. I don't need to
There's
hear that.
literally no reason, literally none. And I feel like the point of views could have been streamlined way more.
I agree.
That way, it wouldn't have felt like there were too many moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? There's no reason why I needed to get Solomon's point of view
Never.
outside of through Asha
Right.
or the other main characters. I honestly didn't even need Naymir's that much.
I agree.
Didn't.
Instead of through Maggie. And then when you do the other book, because I think it might be his based on the second one,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. But then once their part becomes more solidified, then maybe you can enter theirs. But
At the
for
beginning,
everybody who's supposed to be anybody that we meet, having a point of view felt very scattered.
yeah,
Yeah.
Is and then we ran into a lot of personalities kind of running into each other
Hmm.
because Maggie's and Asha's and Clementine's to me started to run together with their
Yeah.
temperament.
Yeah.
And I know Asha was just like a hothead because she has reason to be, but at some points where you think Maggie would be a little more level headed based off of how we met her,
yeah.
she was pretty hot headed sometimes where it's like there was
That
really
didn't
no
seem like it.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah, that kind of came out of the blue.
yeah. I
Hmm.
And
agree.
then for even Asha, even though she came across as like hot headed, impulsive, she was more forgiving in places where it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
Um, and Clementine, she literally didn't need to be,
she didn't need a point of view at
singled
all.
out.
I don't
She
know.
didn't need one.
But yeah,
Isis didn't need one.
yeah. I just
Isis didn't.
Hillary didn't need one.
it was
Did
just
she
While
have
while was Namir's sister had one.
yeah. It's like, what
May
are
didn't need
we
one.
made? Whatever her name is. It was just a little too
It
many. It was too
was
many
it
people
was too much.
talking.
It was
Too many
too
people
much.
talking. You should have just did it third person if that was the case because it's too many people
Right.
talking. But
Yeah, I
okay.
think it was kind of like, oh, you want people to know what motivations is happening at the time.
Mm,
Hmm.
But the biggest intrigue out of reading is inferring and foreshadowing
Hmm.
and hinting at I didn't need to know that May was behind trying to get her and her brother, her brother and Maggie together. We didn't
Yeah.
need to know that Solomon deep down inside liked, Asha. We didn't need to know that from their point of view to understand that.
No, we didn't at all.
Yeah.
At
We
all.
like I'm smart. I can infer things going on if you write it on the page.
Yeah.
If you just
It could
Or
be
write
he
them.
could
implicit.
him just saying that, and in her point of view, he could have just said that because he did say it.
Yeah.
So we didn't need it. Yeah. Okay. So let's get into the specific character analysis. I think that we should. Usually we do everybody who has a point of view, but God, we will be here for 24
Like but
hours. So
like
Literally.
so I think we should just do the people in the crew, which includes Maggie Gray, Asha, can't remember her name, last name. Um,
Avery.
Asha Avery, thank you.
okay.
Is that right?
I
I
think
just
that is
I
right.
think
Okay.
you're right.
Susie Lafayette, and that's really it. That's all we really need to.
Yeah,
And
we didn't be
Quan.
talking to nobody else. No. Because first of all, I don't know. I told Nee, I don't know where Quan came from.
That's okay.
Man,
You gonna find out today. You gonna
it's
find out
I don't know
today.
where
Okay.
Quan came from, but I know where he came from more than I know where Isis came from.
Yikes. Okay, so let's start with Maggie Gray. How do we feel about Maggie? Oh,
I
you hate
mean,
Maggie? Dang.
well, she
I don't
doesn't like
Oh
anybody.
yeah, that's
I
right.
think she's stupid.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Valid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Well, you keep going. You think she's stupid? Let us know.
I think I just I'm appalled by so many decisions that were made by these characters. I couldn't help but just like start off not liking her because what do you mean? You 29, you in your master's program, and you come to class with a blank page with your hand in your pockets and your hood on in the class. Talk about I don't got nothing written down, but I could tell you a story my grandmama told me. Girl, sit down.
You'll be surprised at how often that kind of stuff happens, though.
And, you know,
Seriously, like you be. That's
I was
actually
talking to
not
somebody about it because
even. That's
they
not
was
even
telling me that
crazy.
it was like I was talking to somebody about it, and he was like, "Don't stop putting, like I guess maturity level on age." I said, "I'm trying
Yeah.
not to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
you
that,
can't.
but it
Not even
just not
maturity,
only
more so responsibility.
responsibility. And why are you telling your grandmother's sexual assault story to a random class when she explicitly told you not to tell nobody this? And you do that in response to something that it barely has anything to do with?
So
Because it
what
was
about
supposed to be
talking
about the
civil rights, right?
civil rights.
Hmm.
You told a story explicitly about how a group of people did not do anything about the civil rights movement.
Yes, they did. They
Yeah,
fled.
Why are we
right. And
talking?
That's what they did
they
about it.
turned
They
their back on it.
fled. And see what they did about the civil rights movement. They fled so they can have their own discrimination underground,
Mm-hmm.
as so their right is.
And he said, "This
Hmm.
we need a little
I
bit
said
of
that
this
right.
under my rule." But yeah, overall, I think Maggie was disrespectful to her grandmama and just a very silly, unserious person. And I thought she made silly, stupid, unserious decisions.
Okay, I understand that. To be honest with you, I can't really pinpoint Maggie's personality
Yeah, also,
much
is not a lot
because she kind of felt like
there.
a insert yourself type of character. Um, but I don't know. I didn't hate Maggie. I just knew based on the way that it was written that Maggie was going to kind of be like the the character that was like kind of thrusted into the responsibility instead of somebody who was going to take hold of their destiny themselves. You know how you have those people who are like, "Oh, you're the chosen one," and deny it and don't take on the responsibility of figuring out what that means for them. And she just kind of seems like someone who has put herself in a position that she's put herself in a position to be led to something.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, she's able to kind of kick and scream about it
Yeah.
and complain about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I do love a good chosen one trope. So all of them are chosen ones, you know, to down to the men.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I do like a good chosen one trope.
Everybody's special.
Everybody, everyone a part of the group. And you got the big three who just got there.
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
but I mean, I like the intrigue of her being like the ultimate chosen one. Like, oh, she's supposed to be the reincarnated one, and she
Yeah.
just kind of apparently skated through life without ever being told anything and kind of constantly denied things. And then when she was told something, she didn't take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of people showing you, telling you the markers of who you are, and then you being accepted into this magical school, and you're looking at all of these magical people and magical instances, and you're like,
No.
that's not real.
Right. People flying
I,
above your head.
I it that part is a little ridiculous, and I can't even attribute that to Maggie because I hate when authors do that.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just start learning. Harry did better than that.
Harry did, and Harry was like 10, 9, for
So I mean,
sure.
I
That's
understand you
also
reach your
because
whole
Harry people was
adulthood,
beating
not
him.
What you said?
huh?
The Harry people was beating him. He was like, you know what? Sure.
Anything better
Sure.
than what
But
I'm living right now.
he also was still impressionable. He was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know she
Maggie's
spent her whole
29.
adult life, but I'm telling you, you don't have to convince me too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Me being at the age that I am, and I'm thrusted into a new university underground. No one knows about it, and I'm seeing people shapeshift and
Yeah.
drooling at the mouth
Yeah.
and all types of stuff, talking cats. By the time that I met everybody, I
For
think I'm
sure.
convinced.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think me personally, I don't like you said, I don't know how I feel about Maggie's personality, whether I like her or dislike her. I know I didn't dislike Maggie. I did feel like some of the things that she didn't make any sense. And it was just like the author tried to make Maggie so oblivious to what's going on that it kind of got annoying, just
Mm-hmm.
because I just feel like the way that you started the character off, it she seemed like it's one thing, to be unbelievable, or she's not believing what they're saying or what's going on, but to be that way pretty much the whole book don't make no sense at that
Yeah.
point. And it's like, okay, well, you still seeing things you like, oh my god, like, okay, I get it, but at the same time it's like, girl, your eyes are flickering red, your hair changed length by the phase of the moon,
It
and
had been doing that since before
your
you came
whole
down here.
life,
Exactly.
and you're bleeding tears, or your tears, you're crying blood. So
You're tearing blood.
like you're tearing blood. So it's like, okay, at one point it's kind of like you need to start believing something, because you like, you keep talking about this first family, and I mean at one point she was kind of like, I want to see what it's about, or try to figure out what's going on. But then you read about it, and when you and Namir sneak off into the library and you read about it, and they're telling you like, this is something crazy going on, and is what they saying that's happening is probably not how it actually happened, and this and
Mm-hmm.
that, and they're giving you the blueprint, and you like, haha, you wrong. No, girl, listen. This is not a haha got your name here. This is not that. This is
This
not the moment for
this is
that. This is, girl, open
And
your
that's
eyes. It's
yeah.
right.
gonna hurt you. Like,
That's right after she had that they had
the
that seance,
seance.
and then she was told that she was and like she basically set up to be a martyr.
Yeah, like they say, you're in danger, girl. You, nobody else could hear. They say you in danger, and you got them like, oh, them people tripping, and then you go with the danger to the library, read the
At
danger
night.
verbatim, and then you leave with the danger, and then you go and get into the bed the next day with the danger, and let him smell all over you, and you just a lamb chop. You were just sitting on the plate, ready to be served up. Like you, and you just sitting like,
Why
he
I
kind of
bushy
hot.
tail?
He hot. Oh, like girl, what are you? That right there, and that. I mean, the romance of it all. I think I would be more okay with Namir and Maggie having some type of romance if Namir didn't start off so strong. Like I understand his dislike for the family and dislike for her generally because of who she is or what she is rather, but
Mm-hmm.
the way that he was talking was just so aggressive and so
Crazy.
unnecessary. So it was just it's hard for me to forget that. Like you gonna have to he gonna have to put the I mean, I don't know if it don't really matter to me. I don't know if I'm gonna read the rest anyways, but he gonna have to put the works on for her to well, for me as a reader, if I were to continue to read the series, for me to forget that because it was just too much. He was just doing too much. And the last thing I gotta say about Maggie is the part where she goes to his class the first time. I thought that was just so ridiculous, so out of
It
it
was.
seemed out of character, but I
It
don't know if it was out of character or not because Maggie sometimes seemed level headed, sometimes seemed ditzy as I don't know what. And so when she gets up there and he's just like, ain't you in my class? He was talking kind of sharp, but for her to start immediately being like, you know who I am? I'm gonna have your job, girl. You don't know who you are, and the people don't know who you are. That's why you in the halfway house right now. So what are
Not the
you
halfway house.
talking about?
The
Okay,
halfway house. Right. She
because
was
she's
Halfway
not
talking
house.
as
quite
if she
legacy,
got
but she's
there.
not quite not. So they don't even know who you are. Not for real. You don't know who you are. Or you think you know who you are, but you don't know who you are, and you keep saying that. So for you to stand up talking about something, oh, I'm gonna have your job. You still pending.
You're still pending. They're not validating you. You haven't, your grandmother, apparently, your grandfather apparently are alive and working down to them buildings, and nobody came out
Say
Nobody.
to
nothing.
fix you.
Nobody.
No food on
No.
Sunday. Nobody sat and had a family
No
reunion.
dinner, big mama.
Just a target on your back. No support.
But oh, I'm gonna have
Man,
your job. That was so crazy, and I don't know why the author wrote that. Like it was just like that. Don't even seem like that goes here. Because I feel
that
like if
whole scene.
she could have got an attitude with him because he had an attitude without doing all of that, and it still would have been on brand for Namir to do what he did because he was already being aggressive. That's how he was introduced to us. So his reaction would have been the same, could have been the same without her doing all of that. But now it's like you trying to make me dislike Maggie because that don't even make no sense.
It didn't. That's what I'm saying. Her and stuff like that made me feel like her and Asha's character started to blend because
Yeah.
she went off on him like hard. And I'm trying to figure out at this point
Where did we see that?
why.
Yeah, we hadn't seen that from Maggie before yet. So it was so left.
It
Like
was ridiculous. And however we met him, he was, I guess, trying to be professional. He was I don't remember.
teacher, coach.
Right. He was like, I hate this bee, but I hate
And
her
wasn't
gut.
trying to be professional at all. He was so unprofessional
Oh.
from the
Like, okay,
jump.
I don't
That,
remember.
again, that whole scene was crazy to me. Her talking crazy, and then him acting,
Taking her
pretending like he was even trying to be professional at all. You literally, again, the threaten. I feel like this author keeps using either like harassment and assault as like plot lines over and over and over again.
I agree.
Like, why are we introducing like their dynamic with the threat of assault towards her, the
Mm-hmm.
threat of people harming her? Why is that how you introduce a love interest?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. She
Because it's
just
supposed to be
go ahead.
they are mortal enemies. And
You work at a
he
school.
But you mad she
their
said she gonna have
mortal,
your job.
their
You said she was
families
gonna kill
hate
me.
each other. They are ops of the nth degree, to the point, like, like those rivalries that's like, I killed your homeboy, you killed my homeboy, I killed your uncle, you killed my uncle. Like,
Yeah.
it's like there's never going to be a conversation that's going to stop this. It's going to have to be something drastic that's going to stop this. And that I do understand. However, if they were going to make them love interest, there was supposed to be something that deviated him from that thought process a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
For us to be like, in the beginning at least, for us to be like, okay, he's like battling with this thing and he's like not taking it to the extreme. You know what I mean? But he is taking it to the extreme. He's taking
Taking
it
it to the
as his duty to
enact pain.
annihilate this person.
He
He's
literally
like,
Again,
like
you at work.
that's what I'm saying.
Why
Like,
are you a teacher? Why are you the teacher of magical people if you can't cooperate with magical people with
all
a
that's
vast
magical
not
amount of
people.
magical people?
it's not about that though, because he could do it with the other ones. This one was just a slap in the face
Ain't got no
because
other vampires.
No, because they not around.
no, they don't have that. This was a slap in the face because the deal was vampires were supposed to be done. There was supposed to be no more offspring. So this is like, oh, we had a truce. Oh,
Hmm.
so now y'all trying to get back to it.
And whole
That's what it
time, whole time, Namir probably ain't never seen a vampire in his life. So there is really no reason for him to be acting like that. And back to your point when you said that they should have had something like a saving grace or something that, like, if it's going to be a love interest, I feel like him saving her in the woods could have been that.
softened him. Yeah.
But the way that she wrote it, or the way that they wrote it, it like he was just talking so nasty the whole time he was doing it. And then immediately when he finally had a conversation with her, it's just like, okay, and I wasn't impressed by that body anyways. Like, girl, get down and start
What?
being an athlete. I'm supposed to be, these people are like top tier athletes that's in your class. Why am I in your class in the first place? And that devilish
Exactly.
uncle who set it up, I guess, like, oh, we'll keep an eye on her, put her in your class. You make no sense, you big dummy. Like, he's a big
It
dummy. It just,
don't.
He's
girl, I
after
could go on
school.
about
Y'all have
this all
eyes all over
day.
the campus.
Huh?
You have eyes all over the campus. She didn't need to be in this PE class for
This
y'all
is
to
what
keep
I'm
eyes on her.
Didn't. Literally
saying.
didn't.
Y'all make
Literally
no
didn't.
sense. That
And
uncle is
then
dumb. He's
And this is
stupid.
another thing
that
where I
whole
feel
family
like
is dumb.
the whole multiple point of views kind of counteracted some things, because him carrying her, his perception of her, of course, they're like teaching hate of these vampires, right?
Hmm.
So he's growing up like hating, deep seed hating, right? So of course you see what you've been taught to hate for so long. Of course you're going to perpetuate that. However, if we didn't get his point of view, we would not have been so dead set against this man, because our point of view of him would have been, okay, he's saving her anyway. He's helping her
Hmm.
anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just for us to go into his mind and hear him talk about
He left his
his
house
his
slurs.
perception, his his perception of her. She's in a daze. He's looking at her drugged and in a daze and saying, yeah, she's smiling like she's happy that she killed my people. That's your deranged perception of it because of what you've been taught. Like, he's off on a deep end and we didn't need to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That
It's
Yeah.
should
just
have
too
been like,
much.
it would have been easier for us to be like, okay, he could, like, our perception of him would have been different
It's like
if
it's
we
like
had to put things together.
exactly. It's like in Twilight when Bella had met Edward. He was stoic and mysterious to her, because we didn't get Edward's point of view in Twilight, in the book Twilight. So when she meets him, she's like, does he not like me, or does he like what's going on? Like he's like, covering his nose, she musty or whatever the case may be, and like he's like trying to get away from her, like wants to keep contact away, but she don't know. So it's okay. Edward could have been calling her all types of slurs and whatever the case may be, but we don't know that because
Well,
it wasn't
actually, we
told.
do because she wrote his
Yeah,
point
I'm
of view,
saying
so we
when
do not.
no, but I'm saying when we read Twilight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the time she came out with that new book that's Edward's point of view, I mean the story's done. Like I ain't gonna go backwards and be like, let me go reread Twilight and think about. No, I'm not rereading that.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
at the time when Twilight came out, it was just her point of view, so we could accept Edward later because we don't know
hmm
what kind of hillbilly bobs he's calling her or whatever the case.
Exactly.
Y'all, you messed up the love interest with that, doing that, and it's like
Yeah.
now her being like when he wanted to come with her to the seance, it's just kind of like, what you what are y'all
Like for what?
doing? Yeah, like what's going, there has been no like redeeming conversation in between the apology. He didn't even give her the apology, so it's just like, how am I supposed to buy into this romance for real
Exactly.
if all we know is that he called her
I
all
can't.
types of bees and
Right.
mutts, and when you the
I
dog, but I'm a
can't.
mutt. Okay.
Anyway,
Anyways,
let's go to somebody else. Let's read the
Yeah.
book real quick, y'all. Sorry, we got,
we got
because
on
that
the
was maybe
You gonna put
to.
this in here.
yeah, that
Okay,
was
let's keep going.
a Namir hate train through Maggie, and that's how it should have been, through Maggie.
Through
Anyways,
Maggie.
let's move on to Susie Lafayette. Lafayette, that's how the girl said it. Lafayette.
Yeah.
hmm
I don't
How
know.
y'all
I
feel
think I
about
like
it?
Susie a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Susie is kind of Susie seems more calculated than everybody else.
Yeah.
She seems like she's more thoughtful than
hmm
everybody else. And I know her dad kind of set her up to be, even though I don't like him either.
Right.
Yeah.
He's
Because
strange.
I don't care nothing about you gonna hear worse in the world. I care
I don't
nothing
like
about
that
that.
either.
I don't.
But she's calculated. She's a little more thoughtful now. With that being said, I do like how experimental she is. I like how she's kind of like, I already kind of know about this, but let me
Mm-hmm.
see about it. Let me
hmm
see if it's true.
Yep.
With already kind of having some fail safes for herself. Now it
Yeah.
didn't happen that often, but she was more so like observing things
Yeah.
instead of just reacting to things.
Right.
So
I
Yeah. I
like
agree.
I liked Susie for the most part too. The only part that I didn't care for, um, and it's not really Susie's fault. Again, I think it's more so the author's fault. But I think like the whole, I just feel like there were a lot of stereotypes in this book. And
oh
so it's
yeah,
like she's the light skinned, soft spoken, beautiful, curly haired girl
debutante,
that,
yeah.
yeah, like
Creole girl.
Southern Belle, that everybody
Mhm.
wants to come and get at her, and her daddy with his craziness, and he's like, they gonna hate you because you're light skinned and pretty. It's
Uh-huh.
like,
Your light skin and
okay,
your light eyes.
right, with your freckles and your curly hair, and it's just
It
like
was
Yeah,
so.
them
Yeah.
bees just jealous.
they all jealous.
Why?
And so when she would say stuff like, well, it doesn't matter because they just don't like me because my daddy told me that when the girls see me that they not gonna like me because I'm cute and I attract all the
And
men. So I mean, it's really
I'm
their
literally light skinned.
problem. I don't care. It is what it
Hmm.
is. Which is not a problem being like, the problem was not the nonchalant attitude towards her, people not liking her. It was more so the idea
hmm
that you think that everybody don't like you because you like skinny pretty. And that's your
Yeah.
daddy fault, which is the
Uh
author's
huh.
fault. Like, why did we do that?
Yeah.
There was no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
other
think
than that, I liked her.
they definitely um she definitely assigned like different stereotypes to a lot of the different characters,
Hmm.
especially the girls.
hmm
Especially the girls.
Yeah. how I felt about Souxie again was Souxie was the closest thing to a likable character that I had in this book. Again, I don't have a problem with Souxie. The only problems that I had with Souxie was that she was delusional about how terrible her father was to her.
Yeah. Don't talk
That's
about
the
my
only thing.
daddy. I had to check Asha about that. Your
Like
daddy
what?
is
Like girl,
insane.
your daddy again the in everyone's story, all the three main characters' story shows up how like harassment and sexual assault in some type of way. Because why did we even need to hear the fact that Susie's dad
Boosied
was
her.
basically a pimp.
was
Oh,
why do we hear that Susie's dad is basically her pimp, and also that he had her around while he was engaging in sexual acts? That was the first. Like, why was it the first thing that we learned about her? Why?
Also,
Why was?
don't forget that her dad boosied her and set her up to have her
Yes,
first
yes,
sexual
did
experience with a woman and just made
exactly.
her do it. Because you need to learn
And
about your
and
body through a
we
woman, not a man. Excuse me?
and we as readers are gaslit to be like, oh, he
He just
cares
cared
about her.
about her.
He's just a little strict, a little crazy, but
he
he care about. No,
like
he
he got
don't.
nothing like
He needs to
that.
be in jail.
He's
And also,
insane.
again, the stereotypes of like, not only do we see this, was she was from Louisiana? I
No,
have to
she was
assume
from North Carolina. She's from North Carolina.
North being from North Carolina and having all of these markers of a New Orleans Southern Belle is crazy. Not only the
No, I
name,
mean, North Carolina is considered the South as well.
it it
Mm-hmm.
is, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where the Gullah Geechees are.
this is true. Gullah Peaches are not light skinned though.
Well, that one is.
Not traditionally.
That one
Yeah.
is.
That one.
Um. Yeah. But yeah, like her stuff. I like her, like her character itself. I liked her character. I thought she was again the most driven, the easiest one to understand the motives for. Um. And besides her father, the only other thing that I didn't understand was why she even had any eye on that teacher. Um I don't feel like there was like a written out reason as to why she like engaged with him in certain ways.
It was supposed to be because she's so used to men flocking to her. I think what they were trying to set up was the fact that she was used to people flocking to her, was used to people just kind of fawning after her, and any attention she got from men, she just was like, just expecting them to be making advances toward her because
I
of,
don't think
her
that's what it
experience.
was.
You
I
don't?
think
Because I mean, they did try to set that part up too.
they
Yeah,
kept
they I
saying
remember
it. They kept saying that like who was it? Hillary I think may have said it, and maybe Iris said it too, or so it was, or Quan.
Hmm.
Two people had said it. Two people had said it. Oh no, it was Asha I think. But
yeah.
regardless, it was two people who
Uh-huh.
had made that point. And
Uh-huh.
then, but when it got to Susie's point of view, she had said that she just agreed because she didn't want to get too deep into it. So it wasn't about the fact that she wasn't
Hmm.
getting attention from him. It was something else, and they
Yeah.
never
At
really
least
plainly said what it is. But she did say that she felt like um he was hiding something and something was off, and she couldn't get a
Hmm.
reading on him, and that's why she was like
She was
trying to,
more,
yeah.
yeah,
And then she found out that he was
yeah.
a vampire, so but he was
yeah,
hiding it, so that was why she was keyed in on him, her and apparently Quan was.
right.
And so
Girl.
she just it was that, it was that
Okay.
the surface level answer for people who
Uh-huh.
was just watching her was like, oh, she just don't like him because he's not fawning over her. And she like,
Yeah.
she keeps pointing out like, he keep looking at my body, he keeps looking at my boobs, he keeps looking at me in that way, but
Right.
he's saying another thing. She's like, he's not genuine, there's something off. That's what that was about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I forgot. I didn't forget, but that was in the front of my mind because
Mhm.
I mean, she did know at some point, well, the necromancy seance talk to the dead type thing, because she would see ghosts and stuff, and that was something that he talked about. That was part of the class, wasn't it?
I think maybe
But
I don't know.
regardless, but
He
I
was
think
also,
he was
so.
yeah,
a necroman. That was his major or something specialty.
and you're right. Whenever
Necromancer.
he she was skeptical of him, like she was like trying to figure him out, and that's another thing with her being like using
Intuitive,
her
clairvoyance.
Mm-hmm.
using her brain, like her brain, kind of like
Yeah.
she's not kind of, but like kind of being aware of her surroundings,
Yeah.
like getting close to him to be like,
Mm-hmm.
what you got going on?
Right.
And speaking of him, Hawkins, right?
That wasn't Hawkins. No, his name was
Oh, okay.
Akeem. Akeem, I
Oh,
think.
Hakeem, whatever. Okay.
Kimi.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall I liked her character. I do think she was my favorite out of the group because I think she had the
Hmm.
most personality, and her personality I think more so made sense.
Yeah.
Whereas Maggie and Asha, I
Yeah.
don't know. Now, so speaking of Asha, let's go into Asha.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Asha Avery, how we feel about Asha.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like Asha too. Now, some of her decisions, a lot of her decisions was kind of crazy, but the part of Asha that I do like is how she don't care who she's talking to. That's what I like about Asha. And
Yeah,
she just let people have it. Now, she talked too much, and she is not strategic about anything that she does.
no,
She's very emotional,
very.
and she has a lot of trauma, so she basically has to regulate herself. So I get that. But
Yeah,
I do like how she would call people out, and like she not gonna sit here and wait for the right time to tell you something. She like, you don't see your daddy being you gonna let him talk to you like that? Or you asking her, she like whenever whoever came up to Susie, because I had listened to the first couple of chapters this morning back again.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever some I can't remember if it was Solomon who came up to Susie or somebody who was with Solomon came up to Susie and was like, what's her name? Susie.
Susie. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
she was like, he was like, are you deaf? And she said, are you blind? He said, oh, you asking if she deaf because you trying to talk to her and she not responding to you. Are you blind? You can't see that she don't want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I
Everything
like that
else,
too. Mm-hmm.
everything else, like whenever she did her big one with Solomon,
That,
I was like, Tasha,
oh Lord Jesus. I would like to say that when that was a part that I didn't understand either about Susie, when Asha was like, "Yep, that's your daddy talking to you like that? Like, what's going on? Why he talking to you like that?" And she's like, "Yes, and he loves me, and you're
How?
not going to talk about him. Then tell him not to talk about me."
right?
So your daddy cannot
He
talk
just called
about
me
me
a B
crazy.
word.
Yeah, call me all raggedy B. Your daddy cannot
Mm-hmm.
talk about me and you okay with it, but I can't say nothing back to him. That's
But
where you lose me.
she's okay with it because he's conditioned her to be okay with it. So she's
Absolutely.
Then you be
thinking,
okay
Yeah,
with
she's just
it for
delusional.
yourself.
no, because she's thinking that it's tough love. That's love. She doesn't know
Mm-hmm.
nothing else.
Yeah.
He sheltered her to that point.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. But that girl she don't have no
She
concept of that.
See,
yeah,
me and
she
Susie would have been
delusional about that
outside.
man. She not right in the head about that man.
We would have been
But guess
outside
what? That's
about
why I
that.
like that Asha called it out because you finna understand that that man don't have to talk to you like that. And he's doggone not finna talk about me about me like that because he talked about them crazy.
Yeah, and I'm
Crazy.
just like,
You don't
but
even know me. And then talk
Susie would
about
have been
Maggie crazy.
eaten. She would have been eaten
And the
by
first,
now.
whenever you call your pitiful self, bring your child up here and asking me, Maggie, to
Watch over her.
watch over her. But I'm
Huh?
all types of names in the book the next time you see me or next time you hear I'm around
Yeah,
her.
tell that
And
stupid
I'm
B that
everything but
I
a child of
told her
God.
I don't want to hear
that I
that.
told to watch you. Tell that stupid B that she a raggedy and I don't like her and she dumb.
And me and Susie
And
would have been
she's
on the
like,
out right there.
exactly. And then Susie's like, it's okay that he said that. No, ma'am. It's not
This
okay.
actor keeps
Susie, outside right now, right
right
now.
now.
Because no, tell your daddy. If you gotta talk to your daddy, we can be cool. If you gotta talk to your daddy, don't do it around me,
Don't
Don't do it
ever,
around me.
and don't tell me what he said
ever.
about me. You want him to talk about you like that, and you fine with that. That's fine. That's how you was raised. It's crazy that he's still doing it, but you're grown now. But whatever, he's still doing it. That's between you, him, and God. Don't bring me into it. But anyways, back to Asha.
Hmm.
Oh, yikes.
So Asha, I feel like Asha's character is another like really bad stereotype because I just feel like although I do think that Asha has every reason to be upset and volatile. First of all, her last name is Avery, and isn't that like a hot sauce, like a hothead thing? I don't know. I may have made
Interesting.
that up. I don't know. But
Well, I know in Louisiana,
it's
Avery
Avery
Island
Island. Okay, okay, okay. I thought so. I thought
is
so.
where
Say
Tabasco is
it
made.
again.
Avery Island is where the Tabasco Island,
Oh,
basically.
oh, okay.
But yeah, so I just feel like when we met Asha, it's just like they like made her like the thick, dark skinned um lady with locks who got a bad temper. She going off on everybody. She got a bad attitude and she's like a big stereotype. And I'm like the one character who's like constantly popping off at everybody, want to fight, be this, be that, and always popping off. It had to be the thick, dark skinned girl. It's just like I hate to do that because I'm just like I don't want it to be like, oh, it can
Don't hate it.
never be her. But at the same
Don't hate it
time,
because we have to understand. We have to understand how society views things at the time that we are creating things,
I
and
just
that's
think
important.
that right, and I think that it makes it worse. I think it could have been a little more overlooked if you didn't have Miss Pretty and Light Skin, soft and docile and hyper feminine right next to her, and then you have her and you having Asha, and then you like they're like polar opposites
In description.
and yeah, and how they carry themselves and all of that. And it's just kind of like you have the light skinned pretty girl who's super feminine, and you have the thick dark skinned girl who's everybody's talking about her face and everybody's talking about what she looked like, and everybody like it's just. And then the Clementine calling her dirty and all this. It's just, oh
Yeah,
god, it's like it's too
yeah. It's all.
much.
It's too
Yeah.
much.
You
It's
know
too
what?
much.
I think the first couple times, like in the beginning, I'm gonna tell you right now, the only person who I got a description for, like as far as their blackness is concerned,
Hmm.
was Susie.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And I barely got that one. I just knew that she was pretty. I didn't even hear that she was like, I didn't hear that she was light skinned, but it was such a fast thing to me that I
Hmm.
didn't even clock it. And most times whenever I hear descriptions of characters, I don't be paying
Yeah,
attention to
I
that.
stopped
You
paying
just be doing
attention
But
well.
actually.
I
I
don't be paying
did
attention to
stop.
that like that much, especially whenever I have a whole lot of characters going on. And plus on this one, I just like in that last one, like the what's the last one we did? Waiting to Exhale.
Mm.
It's so many people for me to keep up with,
That's true.
especially whenever you're voicing or you're introducing these characters and the voice, the narrator is kind of like it's not a profound break for me to know, oh, okay, I'm on the next character. So I didn't even realize that Asha was even described to be like the dark skin. The only thing I heard, like I caught on to her, was that she was earthy,
Mm.
and they called her Badu. They had
Yeah, and that
Clementine
was
call her Badu.
Susie. Susie describing her as oh she's so
Oh, it
pretty and
was
oh she's this and yeah
okay.
that was Susie describing her as that, but everybody else aside from the
Yeah.
group is like talking about
Yeah, they were
her,
calling her, yeah, they were
the
talking bad about her appearance,
Scarface
but I
and yeah.
didn't realize that she was like the rest of it. I knew about the Scarface thing. I knew, I didn't catch on to her being of darker complexion, like that being a thing. Or I remember her talking about her body type, but that was by the time her and Solomon was living across the street from each other.
Yeah,
Hmm.
And that them being roommates but living across the street from each other didn't make sense to me either.
that's because you missed it. They
Oh,
explained it. You missed it, baby.
I did.
And then the
But I
fact
was
that
running through it.
all of the sirens are dark skinned, and they're the ones who have to be the ones coming there. You in the hood now, baby. You get to they stop. They all come on there, and now they're like shaking butt and butt naked, and they look like city girls, and they all got
But
Oh yeah, now that
and
part,
got
whenever that
wigs
episode
on
came
and
up,
all.
I
I'm
was
just
like,
like, they got all that makeup on and they got lashes and this. So you mean tell me don't nobody else in the school got lashes on except for the sirens? Nobody in the
nobody.
whole school got any makeup on that look good except for the sirens. Nobody else in the school is thick in the butt but the sirens. Can we
In
please
the
be
butt.
serious for a second? And all the men look like
yeah.
rappers, and they all got dreads, and they all like big and dark skinned and fine and rowdy. It's oh my god. I was
And
like,
I
oh,
get, I get the locks, I get
I get the locks,
the sex appeal, but
obviously,
I don't get the way it was presented. You could have easily called them majestic. You could have easily called them ethereal. You could have easily
exactly, cause she
had a
did through
positive
Souxie.
connotation on it. Yeah,
And then when you
but
got to
that was
everybody else, it was big nasty blacks. What are we
yeah.
doing?
And you didn't have to in that description of when she got to the house and Solomon was having sex with that girl, that
Too
I
much.
wanted to throw up.
was so disgusting.
I wanted to throw up.
Granger, you're nasty. You're
I
That was
said,
nasty.
disgusting. I was like,
I ain't never
this,
experienced
you did not have to describe it
this
like this.
disgusting.
No,
You never had to describe it like this,
no.
let alone letting us know that he was actively having sex with that girl while they got there. You didn't even have to tell us that.
Sure
And if you
didn't.
did, you could have kept it at that. You didn't have to
Kept,
describe
kept,
everything.
kept it cute.
I need to know what the inside of the young lady's canal looked like.
That was crazy.
That was insane. That
It
was
was
insane.
just yeah, it was very
Oh,
objectifying. All
yeah,
the sirens
absolutely.
were being very
Objectify.
objectified.
And my thing is this
Absolutely.
as well. Because when we meet Iris, Iris is a nymph, right? Is that what it's called? Nymph.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sexual beings even more so than the sirens are. But Iris had her clothes on. She wasn't butt
Right.
naked.
And her
And
description of her was way less
vulgar.
negative. Yeah,
Yeah.
vulgar. That's a good word to say.
Negatively vulgar. And it was just like I just was like I don't have a problem with them being sexual beings. I don't even have a problem with them looking um like they just came off of a shoot or whatever the case may be. But it's the
Yeah.
way that it was described, and it was
Describe.
described negatively, and then you're sexualizing them, and they all look like rappers and video girls, and they all shaking butt, and they all half naked, and it's just all it is like that's the sirens. They're all like that, and it's just like
Yeah.
dang. And then they was like mean, and they it was and it's like Solomon trying to be like, oh well, we really cool people, and this is I can't tell because my
No, you're
first
not.
experience. I
No,
mean,
you're not.
I will say, Asha did come on strong, but you staring, you googling at her. What is it? You googling, your eyes googling at her, and she like, what's wrong with you? Why are you looking at me? He like, I ain't want you anyways. I want your friend. Okay, that's fine. That's a fine interaction. That's an interaction that probably happens every day. I've had that interaction, so it's like that's not out of the ordinary. But then it's just like now you're antagonizing her instead of moving. You
Yeah.
want Susie, then go talk to Susie. You don't have to keep
Go talk to her.
insulting me and talking to me and belittling me and making fun of me, and then you see me go crazy in the front of the class. First of all, Asha don't need no college. She need a therapist.
She
But
needs
Um.
a therapist.
she needs to go to
Stat.
therapy. But she's here. Okay, whatever. But she get up in front of the classroom. Why would the teacher make her get up in front of the classroom to talk about her scars, which is crazy?
Exactly. It's
And
Which is
he knows
insane.
the history of her being prodded or whatever, and
Exactly.
that was insane. And then when she starts going off and gets butt naked in front of the class, now you're like, oh, Asha, I mean, I didn't mean to do that. Like the teacher,
you
You're
did mean to do
weird.
it.
and
You're
then
weird. All of you are
You've been
all of
weird.
y'all
serious.
are crazy. And it's just like y'all keep putting her in these like you know that she's been poked and prodded her whole life, and then you want to put her up for display
On
once
display.
again in front of
Yeah.
the whole class that is actively making fun of her in the moment, calling her Scarface and doing all that, like, where you got your scars from? I was just playing. Where you got them scars from? And then he has scars too. I'm just like, what's going on? What's going on? Like,
Yeah.
but now you want to
It's a
be,
whole lot of going on.
and now you want to be at the end. You want to be like, I deleted the thread. Why are y'all talking about having? Why are you talking about mating with me with the whole siren group? Like,
Yeah.
but then
No.
when Asha hears it, she's like, you know what? F him. F him. No,
Yeah.
don't F him.
Yeah.
K
And the
him.
part that confused me is that what's the cat name?
Quan.
Not
Quan.
Keontae. So
Quan.
Quan, he he can have all the what's the word? Discernment in the world. But because Quan said
Shut
that
up.
Solomon was good,
He a
I'm
good.
supposed to
He's
believe Solomon was good.
that fat cat sitting back there talking about he a good dude. And she's like, I'm gonna F him. No.
Huh?
Do
Huh?
Quan
Yeah, I
sound
was
like
like,
somebody I need to take advice from? Every Quan I
Absolutely
know.
not.
like
Um,
that part was kind of ridiculous because they were setting Quan up to be somebody who is everywhere
Right.
and kind of knows the truth about things because he's kind of like incognito, whatever the
mhm.
case may be. But you've presented Solomon in a way that is opposite of what you are trying to convey to us from Quan, who you've been trying to come across to us as a credible source.
And even
No.
right, and even if like say okay, every time Quan has seen Solomon act or know everything he knows about Solomon come from good family, he this, he that, da, da, da. Even if that is true, that doesn't change the bad things
What
that
he
Solomon
did.
did. And so with Quan saying like, "Oh, I mean, he really not that bad of a guy. You know, I see him around. He seemed to have like integrity or whatever the case may be, or whatever." That was opportunity for Asha to talk to Quan about her experience with it or how she felt about it to get for us to see her like have a rational come together about Solomon being like, well, he
Yeah.
did this and he did that, and maybe Quan could offer up like, you know, he has pressure and this is and that, and he
Yeah.
or he succumbs to peer pressure or whatever the case may be, that kind of thing. And then she could be like, okay, well, maybe he's not as bad as I thought he was. Because again, Asha did come off really strong towards Solomon. Solomon came off really strong towards her, and they both seem to have strong personalities. And so maybe that
Hmm.
would have been time for her to kind of rationalize how she's been acting, how
Yeah.
Solomon's been acting towards her, and she could still have her feelings about him, but that it would make more sense for her to go over there and talk to him, or even like they ended up smoking together or whatever. It would have made more sense for her to go do that instead of bust in like we're doing it. That didn't make no sense. You
Yeah.
took that was the
Yeah.
perfect
Yeah.
time for y'all to have a rationalization about her character and her personality, how she been acting.
Yeah. But there's no consequence yet for any of it. And I think it's pretty interesting how she's kind of shunned for her self-hatred, but their interaction with her can also be looked at the same way.
I
Yeah.
agree. You calling me
I thought that was
Scarface,
kind
but
of
I'm from the mother
interesting.
tribe. But that's not
Exactly.
self hatred. And even after y'all learned about it, y'all was still calling me Scarface in the group
Exactly.
chat when y'all know my name, and y'all have not actually offered up any type of like friendship or anything to me. But I'm the self hater. I called you Fishman, and now I'm Quan. Like, man, you shouldn't have said. Or who? I don't even know if it was Quan, but somebody said you shouldn't have said that or whatever. It's and he shouldn't have
I
called me
think it was.
Scarface.
I think it was Quan.
Oh, and for her to go over there and apologize for it, I would have called him. Oh, I would have
It
called
would
him
have
white
been.
words
It would have been some furniture moving up there.
in the
Um.
worst way.
Um.
I would have hurt his
I would
feelings.
say my overall opinion on Asha is that she was the most complex character to me, but also one of the most irritating characters for me.
I agree.
Um, because I just don't understand. Like, there was no, and amongst a lot of the characters, there was no like overall development, at least to me, that felt developed enough over the course of a 13-hour book.
Yeah.
Again, it could have been 8 hours.
It could have been
Over
five.
it really could have. It was so many descriptions of things that did not matter, that was inconsequential to the whole plot line as a whole. And while I understand like just dialogue to see how characters interact, it was way too much description about things that absolutely did not matter.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Asha, I don't understand how we even got to this point. Again, she needs to go see a therapist. She doesn't need to be at this magical school. You don't want to be here. You've been saying that since you got on the bus. Why did you get on the bus to come here? I don't know. We don't understand why, what made her decide to come. And the whole time she just filling people's ear about how I won't be here. I don't even play into this stuff. I don't even believe in this stuff. Why are you here? You sound dumb.
Yeah.
That's why she needs to go to therapy because she does want to be
She
there.
desperately wanted to be there. She wanted to be
Desperately.
accepted.
She
And
wanted
it's
to be there.
and it's so irritating to not to be that the like one of the first things that we hear from her about like being skeptical and being like kind of like, I'm not even with this stuff for real. And that it within itself is not developed over this book. The only thing that is developed is her romantic relationship with a person who treats her like absolute trash. Again, the introduction of Solomon is him sexually coercing the three girls.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be cute. I'm supposed to like somebody after that? No, I don't. I hate this person actually. I don't care about this character at all. We don't get any tangible redemption or apologizing for that thing because it's looked at as inconsequential because this author has a problem with using sexual assault and harassment as inconsequential plot line.
Even I don't know, Granger. I don't know you, Granger, but it wasn't just a lot of it was I mean, I understand they're sirens, so that's kind of like their thing to a point. But
Yeah, no point.
I just feel like there was just a lot in the book, a lot of like you said, it's just like just
Romanticizing, like ravishing.
yeah, like
Uh,
it was like even remember when they were at the tombs and then the girl was like, "Oh, I heard that he was a sexual deviant and I wish he would have just came into my room and just took me."
Yeah,
And then Maggie's like, "You do
yeah.
understand what that is?" And then she's
And
like,
she's like, yeah.
"Yes." Is there
yes,
a
I do.
problem? Like, huh? Why would you
Okay,
even write
okay,
that
why
in
do we need
the
why
book?
exactly why was that in the book?
There was
Why was it in
no
the book?
reason
I
for
feel
that to
like
be there.
my
You could have been fanatics and been obsessed with the first family without being obsessed with being assaulted. I mean, I understand that sure there might be some girls. I guess I don't know. I don't know that life, but it's just crazy
but
to
I
me.
don't I don't like that. My overall I guess hot take on this book, and the overall reason why I did not like it is because I feel like it was very specific fetish content disguised as a magical world, and I did not consent to this type of fetish content for me to consume. I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. Um, there was no reason why certain things were put into this book. It had nothing to do with the plot, with the stated plot of this book, and we didn't even get to the point. There was no point to this book. That we didn't even get to the point
Nothing.
of what we thought we kept thinking was maybe the point of this book. We didn't see the first family. We didn't see. I guess we sort of got to see what the girls, the dead girls, had going on, which was just you a part of this prophecy. I guess. I guess.
It's
Like,
more questions. It's just so many
It
questions.
is. It is. It felt like whenever I was listening to it, I was just like, what is, there were a lot of points where I was like, what is the point
Yeah,
of this? Like, even going into them leaving, we didn't have to leave the campus
sure
for
didn't.
a
Cause
party.
there's
And
alcohol on campus or in the
and
underground.
we didn't have, and I get like trying to build up the systems, but that part I feel like could have been done or could have been presented in a different way, or it could have been alluded to and presented later on.
I agree.
Exactly,
Um,
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
and
Because
I
it
do
didn't have a
agree.
payoff in this book.
No, I do agree that there were a lot of things that just didn't come, like didn't wasn't consequential in this book in particular. I really think that when it comes to writing about sirens and writing about werewolves, writing about vampires, there is a fetish associated with that, and people love the darkness of it. And there are some authors that I think do a good job with
Exploring those
integrating
things.
consent into that world,
Yeah.
and it was kind of off-putting realizing that there wasn't much consent built into this one. It just was kind of like big brute sex,
Mm-hmm.
and that like just the animalistic um of it being attractive
Yeah.
Yeah.
or being desirable, and that could be attractive and desirable if there was some checks and balances associated with it,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
if
agree.
the one time somebody is, kind of pointing out the like the wrongness of it, it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of brushed off as you are the different person here
Yeah.
with your mouth. And I think it kind of just shows how less evolved they seem to be than like the people that they are talking about on the surface.
Yeah.
Because it's like y'all think that y'all are better than the people who are considered humans, but everyone here are like demonizing this one family when everybody here has succumbed to these
Participates in
own
the
animalistic instincts
Yeah.
instead of figuring out how to work together as a society for people's benefit. Like it's just kind of like eat or be eaten,
Yeah.
but everybody comes together against this one family because you don't like being dominated, you like to dominate.
yeah.
Right.
What's
Mr. What? What?
Would you like to be nominated? What did he say?
he said, you like to be dominant. I'm not somebody who like to be dominated.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and that makes me feel like the whole back, like the whole setup of, oh, the first family, whatever, even though our first introduction to the first family is assault,
Yeah.
right? But it kind of makes you feel like there's, you get no truth there because you just have people's perceptions of things.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, because the werewolves having such a big, like, you know, a big population, and later on finding out that maybe they had more of a negative impact in the first place, it kind of made you feel like it was a big setup job. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lastly, I just want to touch on this before we go to the next segment. I just want to
Mm-hmm.
say the whole the uncle being basically Dr. Draken or whatever is just like because all of this keep her on our side, so when it all blows up, when we can take over the underground. It's like, sir.
Okay.
And then what?
So I'm saying
Like
that was our point the whole time. Like,
Okay.
to
who
take
knows
over the
what the first family really
underground?
got going on because y'all
Who
just want to be in
cares?
control.
That's
Exactly.
it.
It
Y'all are weird.
it don't matter.
Y'all are weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to favorite and least favorite characters. So, favorite characters. Does anybody have a favorite character? I do.
I know who you gonna say.
Oh, y'all don't have one?
I don't honestly. I don't. Let me look at my list.
Again, I've stated Susie by default.
Yikes. My favorite character is Quan.
I knew
I
you about to say
love
that.
Quan. I think he's so funny because he really just big and eating and just be going off at the mouth. And I feel sorry for him too because it's like he was forced into
Absolutely.
this cat life. And he said they be kicking him out, and he be talking. They like this talking cat. He like, no, I'm a man. Like they kick him out, and he got to eat scraps, and he in the
Yeah.
cold. I feel so bad for
Yeah, that was
him.
sad. Like
Yeah.
him being out in the rain and he's like, "Oh, that's where you belong." It's like, "No, I'm
I'm
not."
a man. Stop treating me
Yeah.
like a
I
cat. I
think
feel so bad for him.
I think about Quan, I have a problem with, again, I have a problem with the way that just the men in this, like, people, the characters in general, but especially the men just talk. Everyone talks so aggressively.
They
Everyone talks
do.
so crazy,
They
and I
do.
don't like that, including Quan. But
He do.
and while there's lots of things that Quan said that I didn't like it, the dialogue I didn't like. However, I am very sympathetic to his character, and also I feel like that everyone was just disrespectful to him. I like it. I appreciate it.
Exactly, and that's why I say he could talk his ish because everybody's generally like just nasty to him except for Isis. So it's just like, oh, Susie's not
And that's
even.
So
Huh.
nasty to him too because she's deliberately like
Well,
dehumanizing him.
true, but I'm saying like as far as just outright like being, she's being, what's the word, dismissive
Yeah.
or something of the sort. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of right now.
Hmm.
But I'm saying, but like blatantly, like you wrote it, you know, that type of deal. And so
Yeah.
like I felt bad for him, but yeah, I feel like I knew he was gonna like Isis. I knew he was going to like her. At first, I thought he was gonna like Susie, but
Hmm.
I felt like they was too chummy. So
Hmm.
when Isis came about and she was just like petting him and it was kind of like getting on his nerves or whatever, I felt like he was going to like her. I knew he was going to like her, but
I didn't see
I
it coming.
I definitely saw
I
it
said,
coming.
"What?"
It. I feel like this
And
author
him
just goes
being a
by.
fat cat watching her outside with her man, like, and she flipping tricks
And
in front of
What?
him. I'm like, y'all like
Flipping
each
tricks in
other?
the
What's
right,
going
pool.
on?
right, because I was
Flipping
like,
tricks in the
whenever it
pool.
got to her point of view, and she was like, "Those green eyes in the window." I said,
Oh, you're showing out for Quan?
Cat.
"I was like, when did we get here?
I
What did I
said, period,
miss?"
Quan,
We
get
got here. We got here
yours.
because the author plays by second grade playground rules of romanticism. If
Exactly.
if they make fun of me, if they call me names, if they call me slurs, oh my gosh, they gotta like
They're
me.
in love
They
with
have a
me.
crush on me actually.
Yeah. So, I
That's how we got there.
mean, yeah, he's my favorite character. I thought a lot of things he said was funny. A lot of things he did say was unnecessary. But again, it's like within the book because everybody is generally just rude and nasty. So, I thought he was funny. I sympathized with his character a lot, and I was so when they was doing that god awful like Scooby Doo run through the doors and trying to find which that we'll get to that, but that part and then they had lost Quan, and they was just like, okay, anyways, let's get home. I was like, I was so happy
And
that he went on his own instinct and found his way home
exactly.
because I was like, y'all don't even
It's like F
think
y'all.
twice about Quan. Oh, what Quan? Oh, he where he at? He not with us. Okay, girl, we gotta get home. I was like, he been through enough. Now he lost somewhere in Atlanta or God knows where. Like, oh,
Some win in Atlanta.
I was so happy. And then Asha got mad at him when she got home, and
Dang.
he's like, I knew y'all gonna find y'all way. I saw the door, I took it. Y'all wouldn't listen anyway, so I left.
Exactly.
Right,
He's
because
I
he
like,
was
gotta
the
go
get
only
get
one
right.
trying
mine.
to keep up with the rules anyway when it comes to going through those doors.
That's what
He was
pissed
the
me
only one.
off.
He was like, "Did y'all even think about it?" And
No,
they're like, "Anyway, y'all
no.
see him at the door." I was like,
I was like,
"I
is
know we're not going
nobody
to
else
spend an hour
actually
doing this."
actually we're gonna talk about this scene later, actually, so we can move
Okay.
on. I really liked Quan, and I thought he was just a amongst the batch, you
Yeah.
know. Least favorite characters. There's so many, but I will have to say my least favorite character is Clementine. it was just she worked my nerves. She was
Mm,
even worse than the men, and that's saying something because they were really pissing me off. But I just felt like she was just unnecessary, like just unnecessary.
yeah.
She actually was the only one that Asha really needed to put her hands on, and she should have, but she didn't. But she was ready to go throw blows at anybody else. But when it was time to
Yeah.
push you, you had the opportunity to put your hands on Clementine, you didn't, and you should have, because she was just overall insufferable, ugly spirit. And what does she even do?
What did she do successfully? Quickly.
What does she do? Talking about, oh, she's in the school of intellectualism. Oh, it's the easiest school to get in, but you're in it. What do you do? What's your power? You don't have none. Is your power money? Is that it? What are you here
They
for?
got to be it.
Legacy.
They got to be it.
Wayne?
It's what's the word? Nepotism.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
She
got an
Well,
nepotism.
elite
Clementine
family. What y'all do?
Clementine was she was like
An
so
unnecessary
unserious.
evil.
She was very unserious. Now, listening back to the beginning of it, I thought it was funny because nobody likes Clementine.
Right.
Hmm.
And she was like a self-proclaimed mean girl with a whole lot of insecurities and self-importance. And her trying to latch on to Asha and then got jealous of her
Mm-hmm.
because Asha like has like a stake over her hierarchy wise. Like she's more important. She has like the asterisk by her name or whatever.
Hmm.
And so she, after figuring out who she was like trying to get become friends with her, trying to get in good with her, and not even being friends because she wasn't genuine at all.
Right.
But it was more so like trying to attach herself to the important people to keep her importance.
Yeah.
Um, but whenever she was like running for whatever the case was, whenever we got introduced to those like clubs and stuff like that, and like their little sorority fraternity thing, I thought it was so funny whenever she was talking about it, and that boy whose name is James, but I don't think we ever heard from him again.
He was at the end of the book.
Oh, okay. But anyways, because I don't know. But he said when she was trying to like do her little thing for like running for house girl or whatever it was called.
The house
The house
girl.
girls.
I don't know what it was
Was it
called. The
was
house
it in sex
over the house.
education? Head boy.
And
But
Oh
when
god.
James had
The
came
house
in and he was
girl.
like, yeah, and my mama was a single parent and blah blah blah. And y'all should vote for me. And then he was like, he was like, yeah, but uh, but y'all make sure to never be caught without your betas by your side. And I thought that was so funny because it was like you just made this whole this whole what is it called campaign a joke,
yeah.
and it was funny because make sure that you got a beta by your side was hilarious. But she is just she is very
Insufferable.
insufferable. She's dangerous. But most of the people in this book are dangerous, but she's just dangerous because she's very envious and very
Right. That's what I'm
insecure.
saying. Like I feel
And
like go ahead. I'm sorry.
that was basically it. She has no loyalty. She has like self actualization outside of her connection and lineage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like and not to give the men too much, but we
No, I'm not
we
giving them that much.
we understand why Namir hates vampires. Okay? We understand that he was groomed that way, grown that way, or whatever. So we understand. It doesn't take away from how nasty he is, but we understand why he don't f with him, right? Solomon, we kind of understand why. I mean, to an extent, we kind of understand, but they're the it's like the Granger's point was for all of them apparently to have a enemies to lovers plot
Yeah.
point.
Well, why is everyone?
Hold on.
Okay. Um.
But Clementine serves no purpose.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously Maggie has a prophecy to fill, right? With Namir, clearly. And Asha has
Clearly,
a lineage to bring back or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. So she
yeah,
has a
Hmm.
purpose with this person and they have a
yeah,
storyline, whereas Clementine is just nasty. just
Mhm.
Yeah.
for the hell of it. And it really is like points in the plot that don't even need to happen. Because what was the purpose of her coming in and destroying the party? What purpose did that serve in the book? It did nothing but cancel the party. That's it. Which in a couple hours the party was gonna be over anyways.
It,
So
was-
it's like, what was the point of her
it
putting
didn't
that
matter.
in there? She's just mean to be mean. She's just an antagonist just to antagonize. And it's like, if it's not, it was a lot of things in this story that happened just to happen, and there was no rhyme or reason. It felt like. So then it's just kind of like you said, what's the purpose? What are we doing here? Why was that a point? Why, like, you just kind of get confused. It's just like things happening. Like, this feel like something I wrote in fourth grade.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just like I'm just events is happening, but
Yeah.
not for no reason. There's
Yeah.
no bring it home. There's no pay was
Off.
pay. There's no payoff. It's just y'all just doing stuff. So Clementine was just, after the initial nasties, she's not going to become a friend or become an ally, and she didn't at no point in this book have any payoff. And she could, if she's going to eventually become a friend or whatever the case may be, or become a villain or whatever, it needs to have some type of payoff. And there was none in this book. She really was just plot points, and for
Mm-hmm.
no reason, just to piss you off. Is like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no redeeming qualities. We don't even know what kind of power she got. There's nothing there. They don't want to join her sorority, so there's no like conflict. We're not becoming friends in this book. We're not even having like a notion of we're becoming friends in this book. What was the point of
Yeah.
her? Just nasty
Nothing.
for no
I
reason.
initially I thought when she started trying to have lunch with Asha that she was going to try and break up their group, and
Mhm.
like I thought she was going to break, like, try to weaken them and then like kind of set them up to some degree, but it just ended up not even being that.
You're right. It was just
Like,
okay. What
there's
was the
no plot
point?
attached to her that outside of a forced convenience, like of proximity, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody was already forced proximity together. Everybody's
Exactly.
already made to be together. You have Maggie and Namir, the prophecy one, the fact that they put her in that group, and like, that's already enough. You have Asha and Solomon, they already are tied together as well. You didn't need that to put a hex on the girl house so that everybody slept in the same house. That didn't need to happen. It was already going to happen.
Because Amir was already
It was,
there.
Mhm.
Naaman was
Okay.
already there.
Solomon's
Solomon's
already next
already there.
door. Like, it just, what was the
Like,
point? It did nothing.
and Susie's person, she wasn't even at the house. So that didn't even matter neither.
So what are we doing? Quan still was
Or
watching
yeah.
Isis get
Get her
towed from the
back broke.
flow up.
Right.
So,
But that was
Also,
going to happen regardless.
it
why do
was
we
going
do
to
that?
happen regardless. So why did she need to shut the party down? Because she was jealous. And then it would have paid off if they would have had shown Clementine's party the next day. You know, if they had some
Yeah.
type of event happening there, and it's like, oh, we
Yes,
get a get
yes.
back or something.
We didn't even see that.
Nothing. It's just, yeah.
Because
And
we
I
were
called the
we were
police. He said, excuse me, ma'am. Y'all seeing them? That guy who been doing the Karen Michael Myers on TikTok.
Yes, yes,
Said,
yes.
hi.
Mhm.
The park is closed at 11 p.m. and you're still here.
No, I have not seen that.
Anyways, but yeah, it's just
It's real silly.
it is. But yeah, it just don't, it didn't make no sense. That made no sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
None.
we spent an hour and a half running through doors.
True. True.
I was
Anyways.
like,
I can't decide if my least favorite out of my least favorite character being Solomon or Namir. I hate all the men in this book. So I'm just gonna combine them. Those are my least favorite characters, and they were both stupid. I hate them as love interests.
yeah,
Period.
yeah,
Valid.
yeah, everybody. I don't hate, well, I don't know how I feel about which one I feel like is more redeemable between Namir and Solomon,
Mm-hmm.
but I just hate that there was nothing that I could have put in place to kind of ease my way into the romance.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, I thought their conversations, I like the scenes where Maggie and Namir had like alone after they kind of figured that they liked each other. But having those scenes with no actual conversation to get them to the point of them being like cool just didn't
Exactly.
make sense to me.
Yeah.
I
It's just
think that would have been really cute if they had reckoned with their distaste for each other
Right.
and
yeah.
their conflict with each other, because it
Exactly.
didn't have to go as far as it did.
It
They just went
didn't.
from hating each other and being nasty to each other to being like, "You like me? Oh, you like me? No,
Yeah,
you like
like
me."
And
And I
for
was
the
like,
and
brother to the brother and the uncle to be like, and you're gonna sleep with her. What are we do? What are you?
what are
This
we
is why
doing?
y'all
What are
don't
we
run
doing?
nothing. Y'all got the biggest family
Exactly,
and y'all don't
exactly.
run
Being
nothing because y'all
stupid.
ain't got nothing. Turn it on. Y'all ain't got nothing up there.
Nothing.
Nothing.
No,
What you mean? And you're gonna sleep with her? And he's like,
it's not
actually,
making sense.
I don't think that's right. I don't think I should just sleep with her. I don't think I need to do that. And they're like, he like being close to her is not enough. Like, you want me to sleep with her? And they're like, yes. And you're going to do it. And then your sister's going to come in and be her friend. And y'all are like, what kind of
What? What?
villain?
What?
Like, what kind of doofenshmirtz type of
Because it
foolishness
is
is
Doofenshmirtz.
this? This is so like elementary evil for no reason. Like, why y'all can't just be like befriend her?
"You're right.
Like, why
Be
y'all
nice
couldn't
to
just
her."
have a natural? Because they clearly have like complementing personalities. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
both crazy and don't have no brain. And so it's just like, why are we? Why it don't even have to be all of that. And you know
Yeah.
that she's not ugly. He's apparently not ugly. They are clearly attracted to each other. For the sister to come in and just be like, she likes you, and he's like, oh, for real? After you was just calling her a fang
Right.
wench just literally 30 minutes ago, and so it's like, and you like, and then she comes to you when he comes to the party and you in her bed. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? And she's just like, I know you like me. Are we in sixth grade?
Yes.
It's supposed to
Yes.
be it's supposed to be this prophecy that they can't help it. They can't help it being drawn to each other,
It's
even though
given.
they hate each other's guts. They can't help it because they're both the first people reincarnated. These are old souls we're dealing with here.
He's like, yeah, yeah, I could tell. They act like they
It's
don't have
given.
electricity. They giving the social cues of people who was around when there was no plumbing. You know what I mean? It would make sense if it was freaking 1740, but it's 2024 or whenever they wrote this book. It don't make sense.
Or it's given this author had like was writing this idea since they were in the eighth grade.
Yeah, and they finally got the opportunity to release it. You know what, girl? Go off. People liked it.
But you know what? I think I listened to somebody talk about it this morning, and
Uh-huh.
just very briefly. And apparently, whenever it was first published, I don't know what it looks like now because again, I listened to it. I have the ebook, but I
Hmm.
didn't really follow along with the ebook unless I was trying to figure out who was talking and I went to it, whatever. But they were talking about how they don't know what the editing process was.
Yeah, that's
uh,
also what I had to say about it. It doesn't seem like this was edited at all. Well, not at
because
all, but not in a way to actually edit the story itself. Maybe for grammatical errors,
Right.
So that's what
but
I'm trying to say. So the person who was talking about it was saying that there were like spelling errors. There were
Oh wow.
like mechanical errors in the publishing because
mhm,
she was like, I don't know what the editing looked like because the first, she might not have had like a reputable editor. And I think
mhm,
that would have brought attention to the pacing. That would have brought attention to some of the
the
characterization.
fluff.
That would have brought attention to,
The
I
Scooby
guess,
Doo.
whatever things that were misspelled, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So maybe she didn't have, and that would also include, or whatever, about how long it was,
Yeah,
and they didn't have there was no reason for it to be as long as it was.
no
So
reason.
whoever read through it and edited it, maybe she edited it herself, and that's probably part of it because whenever you're writing your own thing, you know what you mean. But
Mm-hmm.
whenever somebody else is editing it, then that's whenever you have the attention to clarity and the attention to intention and stuff like that. So I think that because she was independent, because she is independent, she might not have had, access to, a reputable editor, and that probably could have kind of helped
For
it be
sure.
more smooth.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you are missing things such as like the spelling of words and like repetitive things, the person was talking about how like descriptions had like repeated,
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that
and
in
I
the
heard
and I was
twice
like, it was a couple things
yeah.
I was
in the
like,
audio
didn't I
book.
just hear this? Yeah, didn't I
Yeah,
just hear this? Didn't we just
it
say
was
this?
specifically because at first I was like, oh, maybe they forgot to cut that out of just the narration, but no, it was specifically something said and then repeated in a different in different words, so it was like it would flow better. And so it was like, oh, she didn't
Take
cut,
it out.
like they edited it but then cut out the first iteration of the draft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe, hopefully, she got better ones for the next one. But that next book, 15 hours. So
Girl,
I'm
close
not
to
reading it anyway,
close to
so this
schools.
is
Who
not
said that?
that's not my
Nikki.
burden. But
I want to know what happened at the end.
I do
I'll look
want
it
to know
up.
what.
I ain't reading it. I'll look it up.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, now the story just started. 13 hours in.
Right.
Anyways,
13,000.
and what I hate, I just gonna say, what I hate the most is that the concept of the book is great.
It
It is.
It's a
is.
great
It
concept of the book, and
is.
I'm not saying that she did a bad job. It's not a bad job.
No.
It's just certain things. It's not curling all the way over for me. That's all.
No. No, this book needs to take a little bit more time
Yeah.
to refine
Yeah.
because the draw of the book was hardly there. I was just so upset that I didn't see enough of Maggie and that her personality was so inconsistent
Yeah.
to what it was like you initially thought it was,
Right.
because the
Mm-hmm.
parts whenever her and Amir were going through the library, the parts whenever she would have those flashbacks, like whenever she was drugged and
Saw her
she had
birth.
that vision, that like that flashback or vision of her own birth, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be, the prophecy, like how things, even to the moon, like I know we talked about them, like they made this huge, it was very pointed talking about the moon whenever she was going through them doors.
Mm-hmm.
But even in the beginning, whenever I re-listened to like the first part of it, I heard them talk about the moon whenever she was drugged. And Namir was like, "Where's the moon? Like, why is it so cloudy?" And then
Mm-hmm.
she, whenever she was secure, whenever he grabbed her and like she was safe, the
The
moon
moon
came
came
up.
out. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
So
it's like
like
no
stuff like
payoff
that,
for nothing. Payoff
Huh?
for
stuff
nothing.
like
Oh yeah.
I feel like stuff like that was like intriguing because
Exactly.
obviously it's like, okay, yeah, they're saying that they're waiting on this reincarnation of the moon princess, and of course that's who she is. She looks like the moon princess. The moon is like she's affected by, or the moon is affected by her. She's affected by the moon pretty directly.
Right.
So it's like, why are we putting so much focus on everything else around her instead of what the point seemed to be?
Right.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like the whole entry, like she was supposed to go down there to figure out about her family.
Ain't learned nothing.
Nobody from her family came up. Like
It's
there was
crazy.
no payoff. And then the doggone cliffhanger was us, like her being set up for murder, basically.
Yeah.
like again, the I will say the most interesting thing about the book was the idea of obviously I knew from the beginning that Namir was going to have the story wrong because that's it, any
You're gonna what?
that
He was
will be
Namir was gonna have the story wrong.
yeah,
Oh, of course,
that would be
yeah.
the only logical progression of like his line of thinking and that family's line of thinking. Um, but the idea of like the guy being kind of like a hybrid of sorts, that is interesting.
Right. And they
Like
spent two
Yeah, it
seconds on
is.
that, but we gotta.
yeah, two
But they want to
seconds.
spend 15 minutes talking about Solomon coming out of somebody. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
Girl, that because that when they were in the library, I was like,
This is what
here
I'm
we go,
here
here we
for,
go, here
literally.
we
And
go.
they
And
was
it was
there
so
for 3
interesting to
minutes.
me.
It was so
That
quick. It
was
was so
so
quick.
frustrating because it's like, you got something?
Exactly.
You
He
got something
finally
going
got a
on?
girl, and then she dropped the bomb. All right. Let's move on to favorite scenes. Do we have any favorite scenes?
My favorite scene was that library scene whenever she was reading about
Yeah, I like
Yeah, I
that.
guess
the
so.
book.
Yeah, I would agree. Favorite scene.
That was my favorite scene. Again, I would have liked more interaction with her and Amir if I had the opportunity to like him.
I agree.
Yes, I agree.
And I really do hope that we have the opportunity because honestly, he has talked about her like a dog,
You won't get it.
And he the
but
dog.
and he the actual dog. He the one they talking about his tongue hanging out the side of his mouth.
Like there's a whole nother thing. I feel like I might make a rant video about this book because that is a whole other thing that I have something to say about, but it's gonna be too long. So
I actually just want. I know this next book is called The First Family, so I'm gonna actually try it out just to see if we get more background. That's what I want because
yeah,
I think
yeah. That's
the
why
best
I was looking for
part
this
of the
book.
book are the flashbacks in the background.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I forgot what we was getting at.
Favorite scene, library, and you said if you had the opportunity to like in the mirror.
Yeah, I think between I think he has the most like potential for me to like between him and Solomon, just because I don't know.
Solomon got too
I don't
many.
know.
Solomon seemed
Yeah,
like he's a
I
little
might agree.
insecure for me.
Yeah, I might
Yeah.
agree with
He
you.
has to have a group around him, or he don't know how to act.
Yeah.
And it's
If
like,
I
but they're
had,
the pack animals. But Namir
yeah,
can act by himself.
gun to my head, if I had to pick someone who was
Not gun
slightly
to
more
my head.
redeemable,
Yeah, I think, and because
then I
honestly,
might pick someone.
already
Pow.
has Naimir has already shown that he's questioning or kind of going against things.
Yeah.
So like if they were to like hone in on that, then I think that he would have a decent redemption
Yeah.
enough for me not to hate him.
But he gotta address
But
it.
Solomon, I think
Actually,
Solomon is just
Yeah.
too ego. I don't know. I just think that I don't even want to talk about
I
Solomon.
think the problem is that we know we didn't get it with Namir, but I feel like the author may think that they gave it to us for Solomon when they didn't. And that's what I think the issue is. I feel like the author may think that that conversation that they had when they was smoking was the resolve, and it's like
Yeah.
it was more so like, why you mad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the author has a problem with like e- matching levels of scenarios.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like the scenario of someone talking about my private parts in a Discord in a Discord chat, and talking about my private parts, talking about my
Procreating
trauma,
with
my
me.
experimentation on, like, people understand that I was like abused extensively, like beyond belief of like most people's experience, and because I have a scar on my face, which again y'all should be bound down to it like me,
Yeah.
Right.
but
So
y'all
y'all must
choose
not know y'all history.
exactly y'all chose to talk about me in such a disrespectful and nasty and sexually explicit way, and this character of Solomon chose to engage in that and participate that extensively.
Yep.
He wasn't
Now,
shying away from engaging in the disrespectful conversation. And so, but it's that, and oh, she mad because of that, and then I meet that with, oh, but we really cool once you get to know us.
I don't want to get
yeah,
to know
I
you.
would take it even so far to say it's because of his influence why they did it because he felt
Exactly. Because he was
he
the loudest about the Scarface and all of that.
well
Exactly.
also because it's kind of even like said that his presence or his siren ability is strong.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like he's the alpha of the pack or whatever the case. Like he's the head. What is it called if you're a
Head
fish?
honcho.
Fishman.
He, he's the
He's the
leader, right?
fishman.
He
He's the
has
alpha. He's the like alpha siren.
He's a
he's the
Triton
alpha
or something.
siren.
Yeah, yeah,
What is it?
yeah.
Triton, is that what they call him? A
Right.
Triton?
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah. He's
so.
the Triton. He's a Triton. So he has the followers. He has the influence. It makes it seem like it's they talk about how like powerful his siren call is. So it kind of begs the reasoning that they are all kind of under his call to a degree.
Right.
So they're all just kind of moving under his influence.
Yeah,
You felt played, so they are moving under that same influence because of how you feel. So
Exactly.
I don't care if you have a complex feeling, the or you have a complex outlook on her or whatever the case may be. You are projecting that hate and that disdain toward her, and that's what they are moving off of.
Right.
I think that it was all based off of his
I agree.
feelings toward her.
Yeah.
So whether he realizes that that's what's happening or not, he knows his influence is strong to the points
Exactly.
where whenever is and it shows like that push and pull between Asha's potential and his influence whenever they are kind of just doing what he said almost as in a trance. Like whenever they command things,
Yeah.
they
yeah,
kind of just do it. There's no pushback, there's no back talk. And so whenever Asha went over there and like kind of she challenged his directive and they listened to her.
You're right.
They're all kind of it makes me feel like they're all kind of like subconsciously under this constant influence of him because he's the head.
Right.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So even with that, with me thinking about that, it makes it worse for me.
yeah.
Right.
They're doing this
It
because of
does.
you,
Right.
and
And
you're
then
doing it like immaturely.
and then you told everybody that's mine, even though you know she's mad at you. You never like try to resolve it with her, and you just like tell everybody don't talk to her, don't touch her, because that's mine till I had her. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So
Insane, insane, insane.
And for you to be like, oh, they looked for it. No, it's because of you. They
right,
look for it. You.
because of you. Right. So moving on to least favorite scenes. Scenes. I don't really have much to say.
We
There's
talked about them.
yeah, just that doggone Scooby Doo scene going through that just pissed me off because they wasn't
Okay. Talk about
That
least.
is,
That's my
I
least
love that you
favorite.
described it like that because it is a Scooby Doo
going through the
scene.
doors
It's so ridiculous.
with the feet. Y'all run up
Yes,
into everybody.
yes,
Y'all end
yes.
up at T.I. house or whoever the case may be,
No,
and
literally,
it's just like, what
literally.
are we do? And
What
why
is this
did
supposed to
we?
mean?
And I'm just sorry. Off topic, real quick. Why do we keep describing people as Kodak Black? It was just back to the scene. It just didn't make
It pissed me off
sense.
so bad.
The people literally said, girls, if you don't do it right, you can end up in a time warp or whatever the case may be. And that's
Time
really
loop.
bad. Time loop. And that's really bad. And they
Like
told you
insane, like people insane bad.
that's the only thing warning that they were telling you, like, knock twice, wait for the light, then go. And
Easy.
girl, we couldn't even wait for that light. We had to run it through. Had y'all did it right the first
What
time, y'all wouldn't even been doing all that.
again? The person, and this is why Asha irritated me so bad.
Pushing people through the thing. The light ain't even on
She
yet, and
she
you
was the
run
main
through
one.
it.
She was the main one, like being like vocally talking about how like, oh, we can't, like, I guess vocally responding to that thing of like, oh, you might be in a time loop or like being scared about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're the main one pushing people through the door,
And
open the
running through
doors
the
when you
door.
know they're not ready. Like,
Yeah, it's just that was
what is the
ridiculous.
point? What is the point?
Of this whole scene.
What's the point of being scared? What was the point? There was no point in setting a time limit on like how long it could be in this world if they were just going to go through the portals themselves. Why we were informed? There's a lot of stuff that's like, again, the editing was not there because when you write a story, most, if not everything, like everything in the story has to be pertaining to the end goal of the story.
Yeah.
because there was no end goal shown in the story. It was just stuff going on. Like,
Yeah.
why were we told that, oh, you have 2 hours, if they're not going to worry about the time limit at all as soon as they go in there? They
As
in
soon
Waffle
as they
House.
learned about the 2 hours, they was like, okay, well, we ain't listening to that. It's
Okay, why was that? What was that
like
told?
ISIS,
Why do
get
I
on
get that?
finding somebody else immediately. That's immediately what they said because it's like, oh, we gonna need way more than 2 hours, girl. Okay.
Like that could have been something to be like, oh, we made it about a hair of our chin for the 2 hours, but then maybe that was something set up for a next book of like, oh, we explore what happens if you don't, if like you need to get in by yourself. We didn't need that in this book. It was frivolous, it was stupid. We don't understand any of the references that was going on with these
No. These different doors,
People
these different people that you ran into, and the
exactly.
moon showing up in everyone, and then
for
we went
Maggie.
back into the past. There was some princess that we ran into. I was just like,
We don't
What's going
understand
on
that.
obviously
here?
Why
something is
are you
going to
telling
be a
this? Why are you
callback.
telling me as a reader this?
Yeah, uh, obviously something's going to be a callback, but it's not significant enough for it to even for it to matter.
At
Mm-hmm.
this point,
And if you were going to go into a room that eventually brought you to somewhere that's going to be significant, we didn't need to go through 8 different rooms. We could have went through 2 and had our issue and then made it back to the school. But the fact that that scene lasted for an hour and a half, I said fact. I don't know if it was that
it
long,
wasn't.
but if
No, like
you
it
really
had to be an
needed
hour and a
to,
half.
if it was
It
two
had to be an
hours,
It was just
if
so
it was 2 hours that
confusing.
y'all needed to be through here and it took me 3 hours to get through that part, I'm trying to figure out why we made it back in time.
It had to be an hour and a half because not only did we did the whole thing of them like finding somebody to go through the portal, then they went through the portal, showed up in an airport bathroom or something, and then we go to Waffle House, and first of all, we didn't even see the scenes of them getting in alcohol. They just got it, I
No, the
guess.
whole purpose of us going through this.
We meet completely new characters. Again, introduction of characters like that um should not happen 8 hours into a book. The introduction of characters that are supposed to like set up a completely new like thing or introduce like that's crazy. um have a whole thing about these people, and then we go into the Scooby-Doo wild goose chase of the doors. That was absolutely an
And
hour.
what was the point of losing Quan?
The doors. Huh?
Why did we lose Quan? What was the point of that if he was just gonna be at the house? Like, why did that even need to be a thing? Because they didn't care that they lost him. Because my thing is, Isis was holding him, and then she stopped holding him, and then it was like, oh, where Quan at? Oh, I don't know. Anyways, let's keep going, just for you to get home and get mad
What
at
was
him
the
because he
point? What
made
was
it
the point?
home.
What was the point? What
Did
was
y'all
the
want?
point?
Did y'all want him to get lost? Like, you didn't want to write his character in no more? Like, what? I
I
don't
guess
understand. I don't understand. What was the point of that
you
whole
should have brought him in the first
scene?
place. It was gonna be all that.
If it was gonna be, if y'all knew it in immediately, if y'all knew that y'all was not going to adhere to the 2 hours, which they did know immediately, like, oh, we gonna need more time than that. And then what was y'all doing the whole 2 hours? Why did y'all need more than 2 hours? Y'all was just picking up
Right.
alcohol.
Go into a store and then go home.
because
Like, what
because
did you need that for?
because the whole we need more than 2 hours things because Maggie thought that she was going to visit her mama. She thought she was going to visit her mom in this 2 hours. She was like, oh, that's not enough time. So the only reason why the time should have been extended is if she actually visited her
Her
parents.
mom,
And if
yeah.
she did, and y'all didn't say nothing about it, that don't make no sense.
Well,
So,
it doesn't
but she
matter because
didn't.
she couldn't have
She didn't.
She didn't. So
if you don't
y'all
already
was
been
just
there.
there, chilling, eating, meeting
We
new
didn't.
people that could have been the evil ones, but they wasn't even the evil ones. So it was just like, what was the point?
We didn't visit. We didn't. We met new characters, but we didn't even get one conversation, one bit of dialogue from her grandmother, which started this whole story throughout the whole book. You mean
Yeah.
tell me you told Granny sexual assault story to a room of strangers, and we don't even get a bit of dialogue from Granny this whole time from
We don't even
herself?
get to see. We don't even get to see Granny
We don't know how
outside of
Granny.
that flashback. Outside of those 2 flashbacks,
Crazy.
we don't even get to see Granny. We don't even like. I understand. I seen the grandfather, whatever. He's the head honcho, blah blah blah. But
Allegedly.
everybody allegedly, everybody else that she knew to be dead and had a relationship with is not. I say everybody else. That's the grandma, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point we could have talked to grandma or alluded to talking to grandma. Grandma could have sent her a note, a letter, like the letter that we
Yeah.
got for the fan club. Could have been a note from her grandmother, and grandma kind of being like, "We can't meet right now." You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Some
Right.
entry to kind of show us like, yes, she's important, but something is going on. We can't show our hand yet.
Right.
It just kind of fell flat on that side,
Yeah.
especially like you said, that was the whole introduction to her even being found out to even go to the school in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It
I
just.
think I think her storyline was done the worst
I agree.
because of how much buildup or how
Yeah.
much importance you thought it was going to have, or how
Absolutely.
much importance it has to the story, but how much attention it got.
Right. Right. You spend more time on her and Namir than her actually learning anything about herself for real. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Anywho, um,
Yeah.
oh, and back to the Kodak Black thing. What were you going to say about you wrote something down about Kodak Black?
Girl, it was nothing. It literally was why would the author call Solomon Kodak Kodak Black?
She called
She
Because
Solomon
kept
why
killing
would
Kodak
people.
Black. She
why
called
did she
the
keep
party boys Kodak Black. And when
yeah.
Namir cut his hair, she said something about him looking like Kodak Black, like his
That's what I'm
hair.
saying.
And so
I don't
when they
know.
bring it back to the sexual assault thing,
Exactly.
it's like
Exactly. That's
in
where
your
my head went.
mind,
Yep.
it's either you romanticizing Kodak. Well, she when she said his name, she was saying it like whenever it came to Solomon, when she said it, it was like her saying Asha being like, "Oh, I don't even find him attractive anymore." You know what I'm saying? But also for you to like kind of associate these men's like nature with being like aggressive, especially sexually, and then your first that's your first because she called somebody Lil Wayne first,
Yes,
Yes.
I
but
was gonna say
one
your
of
first
your
and
first
only.
one of your first like your repeated association to the real world to these characters that's supposed to have some interest, like romantic interest into the people is Kodak is
It's
very
telling.
telling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's I throughout when I ended reading this book, I was just like, I don't I don't like to make assumptions about people in this way, but the way I felt reading this book, I couldn't help but like I guess wonder why this author created this book in this way. And it didn't make me feel good reading this book. It didn't leave me with fuzzy feelings about like black people. Like I assumed that this person wrote this book about like trying to put black people in a world where they maybe like to engage with. Maybe this person likes fantasy novels and likes, fae and like mythical fantasy creatures and stuff like that, and want to see black people in this space. But finishing this book, it didn't make me feel like this author created this with the intent of like I guess making black people feel good reading this.
Right. It's like you took the worst characteristics that you can find within the black community and heightened them and gave them to every single person. Like black people are
Like
monoliths and
like
all of black people
repeated.
are terrible people. And it's just like, dang, what was the point? Again,
Yeah,
what was the point? If he
yeah,
wasn't going to, like, obviously there are in every racial group or whatever the case, there are people. It's human nature to have people who are good people who are bad people who are layered people,
exactly.
trauma, people who are affected by their traumas and all this type of stuff. There's going to be those layers, but you made just about everyone terrible people. And it just so
Mhm.
happened that it's like accentuated as a black book, so it's just kind of like, why did you choose to make everybody
Yeah, it just doesn't.
horrible?
It feels icky. It feels
Yeah,
icky to me.
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree. So,
I understand that.
and are there no other black men that you know of besides Kodak Black? Like, come on,
Right,
there's
because
so
that
many black
that
men.
that kept taking me. I said, you keep
A
talking about
third
how
time,
attractive this
really?
person is, and I'm like attractive, but you keep calling these people Kodak.
You losing me,
That
sister.
through me. You
Also,
lost me the first time you said it. You
that
kind
scene
of
of
lost me
Asha
when you
calling that
said
man
Wayne.
Ashley 24 times.
Who she called
Which
Ashy?
one, Solomon?
No, she ISIS plug, her plug.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a scene of her just going in on this random man about how ashy and ugly
And
and
Dusty, and
downtrodden and low
he's
class he
from the
looked.
hood. She said project. And,
This man
that
didn't
was
do nothing for
Asha.
you. He's helping you actually.
He's actually helping
He's
you.
helping you.
She like, oh, I could,
Yeah.
oh, cause she was mad. She was mad that ISIS was pulling people, like people was looking at her, and
Yeah.
she was mad with nobody looking at her, and she
Yeah.
like, she was like, and oh, I mean, she could pull. I guess she could pull people too, but that ain't kind of man I want anyways, cause he dirty, dusty, stanky, musty, from the hood, project hood shit. Like, what's going
Like,
on?
what is going on? Like what? Okay. Like
And
why
ISIS
do
let that
we
slide too much for me, baby, because I would have had something worse for her.
exactly.
Ma'am,
Exactly.
you're a siren. Don't nobody want you. I think you got bigger fish to fry.
So what's going
Literally.
on there?
Yikes! No pun intended.
So what's going
Literally.
on there?
Anyways.
Anyways.
Um, so let's move on to the book rating.
Okay.
How are we gonna rate this book? Yeah.
You can't say 0.
You literally is 1 through 5. Don't
Okay.
play.
I I will give this book a 1.8.
Okay. D.
Okay, I'll give this book a 3.
I also will give it a 3.
Okay.
So hold on, let me get my calculator.
Because the potential was there.
Exactly. And she can save it, but it just wasn't saved here.
Yeah.
So the Black Lady Media Club rating for The Secret World of Maggie Gray is 2.6.
Okay.
Yes. So before we leave, I just want to ask y'all who y'all think done it.
I know that they're trying to make it seem like Hakeem did it because of the owl.
Mm-hmm.
They kept associating that owl with him
Mm-hmm.
at least twice before he committed that. Well, before he committed that crime,
Well, he allegedly
um, allegedly committed that crime. I I obviously don't think it's Maggie
mm-hmm.
unless she is
Possessed.
like right at the dead of the night. She put everybody under a spell.
That poor baby said, "If I just die right now, I'd be the happiest little bird."
Wait, I
Do
don't
y'all
remember
think she
that.
dead? What's her name?
Hillary?
Hillary. She's like, if I,
Oh,
she's
Hillary's
like,
dead for
Oh
sure.
no, no,
For sure,
Hillary.
she's gone.
y'all think she
Hillary
dead for
got a
real?
I think
half of
she's.
Hillary neck gone.
I
She
think
said
she's gone.
she ain't in the hospital. She said I had such a good night. That was such a great time. If I die right now, I'd be happy. Oh, and he got attacked right after
Crazy.
that. And Susie was like, it felt like death was coming in the door, but death
How
leaving
you?
the door. And then
That was
Hillary
I thought that
died.
was Susie who said
That's
that.
what I just
No,
said. I said Susie.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what she called Akeem death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
She felt
all.
like something was
Okay,
about to happen. She said death was leaving the house. She's like, I felt like death was coming in the house. She's like, no, death is leaving the house. Then Hillary gets attacked outside.
yeah.
Um, I do think it was Akeem. Also, I think Akeem is the granddaddy.
So
I think he's the
Interesting.
granddaddy.
Interesting. I didn't think that Akeem was a granddaddy, but that's an interesting uh like theory because we haven't seen him
Exactly.
and he is kind of a big bad. And for
yeah.
him to be associated with death so strongly,
Mm-hmm.
him hiding something, him having this weight on him, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And how like complex his childhood seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. And I also was thinking about well, I think I was thinking about Hawkins because I use the same name.
Yeah.
Like I got their names confused. But I do feel like if he's not, you know, actually the head, like somebody from the head of the first family who we've been looking to see, he's I think that he was told to set her up. Like
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
the
for sure. The first family definitely did that on purpose.
yeah, they were it's and that's why I think Hawkins got something to do with it too, because Hawkins also is a vampire, right?
Yeah. No, he's a werewolf.
He's a werewolf.
Yeah, he's a werewolf.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I
Okay.
think.
So
Oh,
I think you're right.
what?
that he's a wolf.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
wolf.
Okay. Well, it's kind of like how immediate they had, like, whenever he found this out, he was like, "Oh, you got to go to the school," and he's like talking about her. Then you got this one person who's hiding something, and then like at the end, it seems like the one person that everybody's scared that something's going to happen, is going to cause something to happen, is Maggie, and so you have this big display of like a vampiric display to kind of confirm people's like suspicions
Yeah.
of her being like this dangerous person, and the fact that she was warned about, you know, the fact that she was warned during the seance and that the people kind of really only spoke to her, the fact that none of her family who is on campus, who's running the campus, came out to like talk to her or even like seek her out.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like there is this prophecy that they're trying to like
Avoid.
renew or
Oh,
avoid or get her to take the fall for,
Yeah.
whenever it's probably supposed to be somebody else. It's probably supposed to be the grandfather or somebody. And like maybe she's supposed to be the one to like
take over.
level things out
Yeah,
and like, like kind of correct things, but that might
I think she gonna take the
ruin the
family
hierarchy
down.
or whatever. So
Yeah, for sure.
he's probably put up to like take the consequences for somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that she's. I think she's going to dismantle them in some way, or she's supposed to in some way or fashion. Or dismantle the importance of them, and obviously with the help of Namir. But I do think if the what was his name Akeem, the professor, if he's not Holmes, I think he's another one of his bastard children.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
because the reason why I thought that he might be him is because of the way that he initially like gave those visions to Susie, and was like having her like pinned up and she couldn't move or whatever the case may be. It sounded a lot like what happened to the grandma.
To the grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
that's why I was like, that's his MO.
Oh,
That's the same way he
I
did
didn't even,
her.
and that would have been something that I don't know why I didn't hear that she was physically like kind of like he did the same thing to her.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch that part. If I caught that part, I think I would have had the same theory as you. I don't know why I didn't hear that, but there's certain details that I didn't latch onto because of the way I was listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that I didn't realize. So now it's making me feel like, yeah, he is the grandfather or a direct descendant from him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like the grandchild, you like right up under him,
Right.
if not him. That's a good thing. That's a good something that you pointed out.
Thank you.
I think his name here. Um, I don't think that he is consciously doing this. I think what is happening because of the scene when they were like in the bed together, him
Uh-huh.
and Maggie, it seemed like he was like starting to low key. I guess he was like in a trance or
Right.
something.
Right.
Similar to how like Maggie gets whenever like
Yeah,
her eyes like turn red and stuff like that. It seemed like them being together and being like in like I guess
each other's.
yeah in each other's space and also like seeing blood in the same time. Like I feel like it was giving both of them the same kind of like
Gift.
reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and because like Maggie don't even know that like when she's doing it all like most times, and because it's like the whole prophecy thing, and because the wolves don't recognize like don't at this point they don't remember because they like distanced themselves from that like lineage for so long. They don't realize how like integrated they were with like vampires and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he had like some type of episode and is not aware of what he's doing.
I agree. I
Okay,
thought that
I'm
too.
so glad that you said that because I was thinking the same thing while I was listening to it. That particular part where he did lose himself and it was alluded that he was being like overcome like a couple times before that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like very quick, right?
Yeah.
And he talked about how he kind of observing himself like after he like had that strong, you know, intense like feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But it also made me think of that whenever we back to the library, whenever it was basically alluded that the werewolves were like the first vampires.
Yeah.
Right? Like how they were the first shapeshifters or whatever the case may be. They were the first vampires and they ruined the moon spirit, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that and also the fact that the second book has somebody like it looks like it's maybe Namir, but
Mm-hmm.
he has red eyes.
Yeah.
And so just remembering what that looked like and then hearing the shapeshift like first vampire, first monster, whatever. And then the fact that he and um Maggie kind of had this instinct reaction.
Mm-hmm.
It did kind of make me feel like it was him too. And him
Yeah,
like saying it's
right.
not safe, almost like a cover up for himself.
And also the fact that Hillary kept being like, "Oh, this familiar face. Oh, this face is so familiar. It's so familiar, guys."
But
I
also
know him. I've
literally
known
I
him.
know.
literally every we have so many people in this story. You know how many
It could have been
familiar
anybody.
it is?
Yeah.
Like everybody's so integrated with each other and y'all literally walked around in your own pack.
Yeah.
Like
So I guess
literally
it's just it's the familiar face because like it could have been Hakeem, but I don't feel like he's a familiar face like that familiar for her to be repeating like 3 times to Hillary.
well he is
Um.
an infamous teacher
That's
that
true
all the
Yes.
too.
girls
Yeah.
like and you know
Yeah.
like all the girls really want to be up under and ladies throw himself themselves at him to the point to where it's like a thing that he's like ladies, ladies,
Shake your dreads, shake your dreads. I'm just
ladies.
trying to go to work. What he said?
Type
Shake your
shit.
dreads. Dude, that sound be taking me out.
Every time. I love that sound. But yeah. I'm glad that you said that about Namir because I had thought about that and I forgot that I had thought that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was definitely a possibility. Namir or Mr. Holmes himself
But I'm
or
and I'm
Yeah.
happy that you put that together too because I didn't even have the opportunity to put that together about the grandfather thing.
and that's
Yeah.
what only way that I could feel like it was the professor because I feel like that's too on the nose for it to be him. But
Uh
Mhm.
huh.
if it is
Right.
him, that would be the gotcha of it all because
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
Yeah.
him. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Right. And what they said that the culprit has to be like already introduced
introduced.
in like the first third of the book. The first third.
Well, she ain't following no rules, so now
Yeah. Yeah. I was like,
But you know what I mean? Like
this,
just
this
to
person
think.
is bringing in new POVs to people
never
who
had
don't
POVs
match
before.
the story. Nine
Right.
hours in. The
But
sister
Hakeem
of Namir was brought in 9 hours in
but
to a
Hakeem
13-hour book.
listen. He's the one that's like the red herring gets for, right?
Uh-huh.
He was brought into the book like the first third.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, it would make sense to me that him being brought up so early, like his significance and like how important or how like complex his character came in being, and him also being wrapped up as the grandfather or like an introduction to the grandfather would make sense to me
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
because of like, the weight that they put on him at the beginning.
Ghost. Quan, get down.
Not that.
Fine.
Not that.
He
I was gonna
did.
start calling Slim that.
Oh Lord. Anywho, that was our honest review of the Secret World of Maggie Gray. I'm not gonna say that I would never read the next book. I will let Z let me know if it's worth it, I guess, or if it's um like answering any questions. But let us know how you all feel about the Secret World of Maggie Gray if you read it, and let us know in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll catch y'all in the next video. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.